Hey, leaders, welcome back. I know summer has just flown by. I don't know about you, but I feel like I blinked and it was gone. But fall is here, and so is the start of a new growth season. And as we get ready, as I've been getting ready for this, one thing that's been on my heart and keeps coming up is this idea of preparation, right? The need to be prepared. Now, I know that, like yourselves, that all of us are busy and we have so much going on in our life, and school is going back in session. We're getting out of summer into a new season, and life is busy. And there can be a tendency, I think, sometimes to just roll with that, right? And just to kind of launch into, what's next, into the next thing that's on our list to cross off. And I've been really thinking about this, and God's had this on my heart here for the last couple weeks, like this, the importance of being prepared. And so as you get ready to start your group season here, I want to encourage you all to take time now to prepare. Not just to read the curriculum or the book or to watch the videos and have your questions in order about what it is that you're going to cover, but also prepare your hearts and your minds. Find time to pray about this upcoming season. Pray for your groups, pray for what God is going to do this coming year, and most of all, pray for the ability to be able to see how God is working as you enter into this season. Some of you know that I was on a mission trip to Thailand here this summer. And the goal of this trip was a group of young adults that were going over to connect and do some relational evangelism with Thai students who were in the area around this church plant, this Alliance Church plant that is part of the Alliance Envision site. And so that was the goal of this trip. And so the whole time, for like 6 or 7 months before we left, we had been meeting as a team and preparing ourselves for the trip, right? For getting our hearts in order and for how God was going to work and getting ready to connect with these Thai students. And yet something interesting happened when I showed up in Bangkok at the very first event that we had. In addition to meeting with the Thai students and the people that were in that community, there was an individual, a gentleman named Mickey, who was living in France. He was originally from Africa, from the Ivory Coast. He'd been in France for a number of years, and he was in finance. He works in business, and he's an elder at a small Alliance church just outside of Paris. And he just wanted to come check out this Envision, this Alliance site in Bangkok. And so he was just there visiting, and he happened to come to the coffee shop there, and he came to our game night. And he and I ended up talking for a large part of that evening. In the course of our conversation, he shared with me that he was feeling called into vocational ministry, and that he and his wife were wrestling with, was that the right decision? Were they able to do it? Could they afford it financially? Was he too old to make this kind of transition? And so they were in this season of discernment about what were their next steps, and how should they move forward. And he was amazed when I shared with him that I had just gone through that very process just a couple of years ago. And so we spent a good deal of time there on that trip talking and sharing about our experiences, and sharing with him my journey from the business world into vocational ministry. And I was amazed when I reflected on that, of just how God works, that we think that we're going to do a certain task, and yet really what God had in store for me in that moment was for a guy from the United States to go to Bangkok, Thailand, to meet with a man from the Ivory Coast who had been living and working in France, to share with him and to encourage him on the journey that God was leading him towards, with my own experiences doing that very same thing. But I was aware of the fact that had I not been preparing myself, had I not pulled back and had opportunities to pray and to just discern and take in what was going on, that I very likely might have missed the point of that interaction. I may have just blown past that and just said, no, I'm here to minister and to connect with Thai students at this coffee shop, at this church plant. I might have missed the opportunity that God had created for me to connect with this gentleman where he was at. And so I just been really impressed on my heart here from what God has been telling me about this idea of preparation. So as you get ready here for the start of your group season, I just want to encourage you guys to take some time to prepare. Not just prepare your curriculum and prepare your notes, but prepare your hearts and prepare your minds for how God is going to work this season. It might be that he has something in store than what you are planning for, but can you be in a position to be able to discern that and to see what he does when it's not what we expect? So I just encourage you guys to lean in that here as we start this growth season. We're off to a fantastic start. We haven't even done group launches yet, and we already have 50 people signed up for groups and for grow gatherings here starting this fall. So looking forward to seeing all that's going to happen here in Grow Ministry and at Crossway Church. So excited to have you guys on board. Thank you all for your commitment and for your willingness to serve and to shepherd the people that God has brought to you in your groups. If you have any questions or if you guys need any help, please feel free to reach out to your Grow coaches, to Zach Gruber, the Grow coordinator, or to myself. So praying for you guys here as we get ready to start this season. And again, so excited to see how God is going to move in and through you guys in your groups at Crossway Church. Have a great week, everybody, and we will talk soon.